modern U.S. Navy warship, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, was moving through the North Atlantic Ocean. Everything was calm and normal. But suddenly, everything changed. A patrol aircraft flying above detected something unusual on its radar. At first, the pilot thought it might be a technical error, or even a group of whales. But the signal was getting stronger and clearer. Within minutes, the message reached the ship's command center. It was a submarine. Not just any submarine, but a massive Russian nuclear submarine, possibly from the Yasin M class, moving directly toward them. The situation turned serious very quickly. An officer reported, "If it continues at this speed, it will enter our inner defense zone in 47 minutes." Silence fell across the warship. Those 47 minutes became a dangerous countdown, because in naval rules, if an unknown object enters this zone, around 8 to 10 kilometers, it can be treated as a direct threat and attacked without warning. The U.S. forces knew, after 47 minutes, they might have to fire or be fired upon, so they immediately began full battle preparation. But here's the big question. How did a Russian submarine get so close? The USS Dwight D. Eisenhower was not alone. It was protected by powerful ships like cruisers and destroyers equipped with advanced defense systems. There were also anti-submarine helicopters and attack submarines nearby. Still, the Russian submarine came dangerously close. The answer is stealth technology. Modern Russian submarines are covered with special acoustic materials that absorb sonar waves. Their engines are extremely quiet, making them almost impossible to detect. They also hide under thermal layers in the ocean, where temperature differences distort sonar signals. This makes them nearly invisible underwater. The US thought they were the hunters, but in reality, they had become the target. The US activated its communication system, Link 16. Within seconds, a red alert spread across the entire North Atlantic. Soon, P-8 Poseidon aircraft from NATO bases in Scotland, Norway, and Iceland rushed to the area. These aircraft began dropping sonar buoys into the ocean, small floating sensors that send and receive sound waves to detect objects underwater. They were trying to track the submarine from every direction. Inside the Russian submarine, the crew could see they were being tracked. Sonar signals and radar pings were closing in on them. But instead of backing off, the Russian captain made a bold move. He activated the missile system, and then he locked targets. 2 Poseidon aircraft, 2 US destroyers. This meant one thing: the missiles were ready. Only one command was needed to launch. It was a cold and clear warning. Come any closer, and you will be destroyed. At the same time, the situation escalated in the sky. Russia sent fighter jets, including the advanced Su-57 Felon. In response, the US launched its most advanced stealth fighters, the F-22 Raptor. Now, the world's most powerful fighter jets were facing each other in the sky. Missiles locked, pilots ready. British and Scottish pilots escorting the NATO aircraft understood the danger. A direct conflict could start a massive war. So, they carefully moved back, keeping a safe distance while monitoring the situation. Tension reached its peak. Under the sea, a nuclear submarine was ready to fire. In the sky, top fighter jets were ready for combat. One mistake, one misunderstanding could have started World War III. At that critical moment, orders came from the highest levels in Washington and Moscow. De-escalate. The US and Russian commanders opened a direct communication channel. The US captain explained, "We are not on an offensive mission. We only want to continue our route." The Russian captain understood. His mission, to gather intelligence and show strength, was already complete, so he deactivated the missile system. The submarine slowly disappeared into the deep ocean. Russian jets turned back. NATO forces also stood down. The crisis was over. But here is the most surprising part. Major news outlets like CNN, Fox News, and the New York Times never reported this incident. Why? Because the US did not want the world to know that a Russian submarine came so close to one of its most protected fleets. It would expose weaknesses in their defense system. It could also create panic and political problems. So the entire incident was kept hidden. This event shows how power, tension, and mistrust can bring the world dangerously close to nuclear war. Even today, beneath the calm waters of the Atlantic Ocean, this silent conflict continues, deeper, quieter, and more dangerous than ever. Now the question is for you. Do you think Russia did this to test US power? And was it right for the US to hide this incident? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.